All right, two more. No quarterback. This is wide receiver. We know Kyle Shanahan is going to have a wide receiver crush. He drafts one every year, sometimes two, often early. Your best guess, who do you think it's going to be? Who should it be?
Elijah Moore. I agree. Amari Rodgers.
Amari Rodgers.
So Amari Rodgers from Clemson, when we were in Mobile, he's running jet sweeps like Debo, literally looked like Debo. Okay. And, running routes where he was getting himself open. He's probably going to be available later on, but that feels so much like a Shanahan pick, like a guy who get open in the short space, get him the ball, and boom, and he's going to make things happen with the ball in his hands. So
5'10", 210, he's even built like Debo, really.
Same thing. He had the ball in his hands, and I'm like, is that Debo again? Like, is he back? It's the same thing.
Feels like a running back. Yeah, okay.
Right. So that's the first thing that I noticed right off the bat when I was in Mobile. I was like, okay, that feels like a Shanahan receiver right there. I liked him. There's some concerns that maybe during games, he's more of a practice player than he is in games. Like, he caught a 50-50 ball in the end zone or something like that, I think, in Mobile. And that was like the first time that you really saw him go get it. But in practice, he gets those all the time. So, I mean,
Amari Rodgers, how did he do in the one-on-ones?
He was great. I mean, nobody could guard him. Nobody.
That's all I care about.
Yeah. Like, he was literally creating 6-7 yards of space. And again, those one-on-ones are tailored to have them win. The cornerback's always at a disadvantage because they have no idea and no help or anything like that. But
that doesn't mean the wide receivers always win. And if they don't win, you shouldn't draft them. And that's the thing when the Niners took A.J. Jenkins. When they brought him into training camp and he couldn't win on one-on-ones, I was like,
what did you do?
What did you do? Trent, anyway.
He must have tore his ACL one time, in his career. So you had to pick him. No, but honestly, he was leaving people 5-6 yards in the dust. Okay. And it was evident every time that he was out there. So Amari Rodgers, Elijah Moore, I'm starting to really come along too. But like I said, we got to find a way to get Rashod Bateman to slip all the way down to 43 somehow.
What do we need to know about Bateman? I haven't seen him yet.
So Bateman really profiles more like remember last year, Justin Jefferson? That's going to be my, and I'm not talking about him being like Justin Jefferson. What I'm talking about is that when we look back at this draft, we're going to see a bunch of receivers taken ahead of him. And you're going to wonder the same things about why did Justin Jefferson slide as far as he did? Why did so many people pass on him? That's what I think he's going to be in this league. Fast, quick, intermediate, all that stuff. He does it all. The kid's a baller, man. And I think that it's just because he went to Minnesota, he's not going to get that sort of press. So Rashod Bateman, there could be a discussion to be had later on down the line of him probably being the best receiver out of all these guys. Because remember, it's very rarely the number one guy, right? Last year it was what? Judy and Lamb. And Ruggs. And no.
And it was Jefferson. Yeah.
Right. And then, it was J. Jeff. So that's the thing. And then, even think about 2 years before that, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside gets taken before DK Metcalf. And
that's why I'm always scared of taking wide receivers too high. It's like the NFL never knows who the best wide receiver in a draft is. And it's so dependent on which quarterback they play with or which offense they're in, stuff like that. Yep. I mean, any guy who is going to get the privilege to play with Kirk Cousins was going to be at an obvious advantage. So, no, we're not taking shots at Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields today. Don't even think about it. I'm looking at you in the comment section right there. You in the comment section.
I'm not looking at the comments. I'm looking at you, Grant. I'm watching you.
All right, let's do the same thing with running back. A running back that we think Kyle would like in particular, and that is definitely a possibility for the Niners.
All right, get your pitchforks out and make sure you crucify me for this because at 43, I understand. Oh, you can't take a running back here. You can't. Javonte Williams.
Ooh.
Javonte Williams, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Nick Chubb comp with the ball in his hands. Offers way more in the passing game than people believe. Big, huge guy. Again, if you're going to go into the season with just Mostert and Wilson, you're kind of asking for problems. One of them, if not both, make it
happened last year. So happened last year, yeah.
Javonte profiles as Nick Chubb, who can handle the ball 15, 16 times while giving you that flexibility with Mostert to take those home runs to the crib. And remember, you're not paying any of them. You're not going to be paying any of them large money, anything like that. I understand 43 is high for a running back. And I understand Kyle Shanahan only likes undrafted free agents, which is wrong.
I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying that.
Not you. I'm just saying.
He drafted Tevin Coleman.
In general, yeah. So in general, Joe Williams wasn't an undrafted free agent. He didn't pan out. He paid for Jerick McKinnon. He paid for Tevin Coleman. Yeah. He drafted Tevin Coleman. So stop telling me that this regime doesn't invest in running backs when it's everything to the opposite.
His dad's been a second-round pick on Clinton Portis. His kids, yeah. Yep.
So stop telling me that they don't ever draft anybody that high or they don't make an effort to get running back. So if Javonte Williams is on the board, that's one. Michael Carter would be a dream in the third round, who also went to North Carolina again.
See, that was the one I was going to say. It's funny that you say the other one from North Carolina. I love him too, but to me, Kyle always tends to like the smaller running backs. Mm-hmm. He likes big wide receivers and small running backs, and Michael Carter seems like that kind of like would be a scat back on most teams, but on the Niners, you can see Kyle Shanahan featuring him the way. It's like when I saw him, I was like, okay, that's who he wanted Jerick McKinnon to be. Right there. Yep. Like, this guy is the truth. This guy is really freaking good. I never really was super into Jerick McKinnon. I know he did well at the combine, but he was like a quarterback at Georgia Southern. He never really had like the natural vision and instincts to play that spot the way that Michael Carter does. That guy's the truth. I like him. So
the running joke in Mobile was the first person in front of Michael Carter missed.
Exactly.
Now it didn't matter. It didn't matter if the play ends up being a 1-yard gain or a 10-yard gain or anything like that. The first person in front of Michael Carter misses, and it's a rule. It's not the exception. Like, it's either taking your helmet and pushing it down or giving you a shake, and then you like he looks like he's covered in grease. Like, you try to grab him and he just slides out. The first person never tackled Michael Carter. So after the game, we got a chance. His family was the loudest in the entire stadium. And he has the touchdown in the Senior Bowl where he pushes the pile from the 5 all the way into the touchdown in for 6. After the game, we go and we're like, hey, we introduce ourselves. Hey, we're here, 49ers goal line, things like that. Please get your son to a Kyle Shanahan system. And I was like, and watch 1,500 yards pile up pretty quickly. And his father was like, please. His father was super excited, and he was like, please. So yeah, I agree. It's either Javonte or it's Michael Carter.
Yes.
There's other guys down the line. I saw your streamer Croc. Chuba Hubbard.
He likes Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, that's a really, really good call. Honestly, it really is. And he could be had a little bit later. I just think that Javonte and Michael Carter's stock is going up. Demetric Felton is one more that you guys should be paying attention
to. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. So in the Senior Bowl before, Antonio Gibson went from a wide receiver to a running back. He went from a running back to a wide receiver in this Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. Now the thing is he doesn't run regular routes as a running back. He looks like a wide receiver. Like, he's that good. He was dusting all of his one-on-one. So those are the guys that I've got my eye on. I'm sure that Kyle has his eye on one of them, and I would not be surprised to see them draft a running back in this draft at all.